the game has changed. Hi everyone, it's Matthew Case. Welcome to ACCA Management Accounting. Today we are going to look at the accounting for materials. What do you need to know? Nothing much. You need to know the formulas and to do the number crunching exercise on your adding machine. Right, let's get started, shall we? This is what we have, the EOQ and the EBQ. All these two formulas, they will be given in the exam. The economic order quantity. What are we saying? Economic order quantity will be calculating the quantity that will be cheap for the company when they are purchasing from a supplier. The quantity that is economic. You understand? For example, we want to order chickens. Maybe we've opened a restaurant. Is it cheap for us to buy 5? Is it cheap for us to buy 20 or 100 or so? So we need to know the number of units that is economic for us. You understand? Right, so that's economic order quantity, but economic batch quantity, this one is also known as the economic production run. Economic production run. How many units can we manufacture? You understand? Right, so now on the economic order quantity, this one is the easiest of all. 2, this is the 2 on your formula. CO represents the cost of placing an order. D is the annual demand. CH is the annual holding cost. I'm not going to spend much on this because this is primary school stuff. Right, so let's say for argument's sake, 2 here, the CO is let's say $50. The demand, let's say the annual demand is 10,000 over the CH, let's say is 1.5. Then this is it, you substitute and you multiply. But now calculators are different. Some of them, they are not scientific. So I've seen people getting wrong answers. First, obviously, square root. When they multiply, when they divide with the number or the denominator, some calculators, they'll give you the wrong answers because the 1.5, the denominator, will be outside the square root. You understand? So what is the best way of doing this? When you put your square root, you open the bracket, then you put your numbers, 2 by 50 by 10,000 divided by 1.5. Then you close the bracket so that the 1.5 will remain within the square root. Then you do the number crunching exercise, then you check your answers. Then now moving on this one, the economic production run. Right, another trick before I move on, what you have to make sure, if the demand is annual, the holding cost, it has to be annual. They will trick you in the exam. They'll give you the annual holding cost, but the demand, then they'll give you the monthly demand. Annual holding cost versus monthly demand. Are you seeing that this is not like with like? So for it to be like with like, the demand, it has to be annual, you multiply by 12. But if they give you weekly demand, weekly holding cost, this is like with like. There is no need to change. You follow. Right. Then on the economic production run, or we say economic batch quantity, yes, 2, this is the setup cost because you are no longer ordering, but you are doing it yourself. The annual demand, annual holding cost, 1. Then this demand is the same D here. Then R represents the replenishment rate. 2 by, let's say 50 by 10,000 over, let's say 1.5 here, 1. D, this is the annual demand, 10,000. Then R is the replenishment rate per time period. Let's say, for example, this is 20,000. All you need to do here is to apply mathematics. Pure common sense here. So what do you do now? Basic stuff, primary school stuff. Now, the first thing, you solve what is in the bracket. Like, allow me to do step by steps. I don't like shortcuts. Baby steps, you surely get there. Right, open bracket 1 minus, you divide this one, that will be 0.5. Then if you continue with your mathematics, you solve this 1.5 in brackets, that will be 0.5. If you continue solving this 2 by 50 by 10,000 over, if you multiply this using multiplicators, that will be 0.75. Right, so this one now on the adding machine, if you do the number crunching, you get the right answer. Because what you did here, we have removed, we've solved what is in the bracket first, we removed the negative sign. Now multiplication and division is all the same. You still get the right answer. So this is it. This is economic order quantity and economic page quantity. Last thing that I need to tell you on the accounting for materials, most people, they don't know these formulas because they are not given in the final exam. Right. When you hold a lot of stock, it will reach a certain level where we say it's the maximum inventory level. So it's a warning level which gives you a signal that your stock is too high and you end up incurring significant holding costs. If the stock that you are holding is too low, we'll say this is the minimum inventory level. Then there is the reorder level, or we call it the replenishment order. So reorder level is known as the replenishment order. So now, before I give you the formulas, I want you to understand the lead time. When we are talking about the lead time, we are talking about the difference between placing an order and receiving that order. So in the exam, let's say the lead time is 21 to 25 days here. So just know that the 21, that will be the minimum lead time. Then the 25, that will be the maximum lead time. When you need the average, you just add 21 plus 25, you divide with 2, right? Right. So now reorder level, we say maximum usage times maximum lead time. Are you seeing this? This is the formula. For example, let's say maybe they will tell you that per day they place 90, then the lead time maybe is 20. Then you multiply, you get the reorder level. The reorder level, this is the level which indicates that when your stock reduces to a certain level, you need to buy another stock, right? Then also minimum level, minimum is less than the reorder level. So that will be the reorder less. If it's the maximum, that will be the what? The reorder level plus. Now, MA is very tricky. For example, in the exam, they will ask you, they will require you to calculate the maximum inventory level. And if you are not given the reorder level, it means you have to calculate the reorder level first. And if you don't get this right, that means the maximum inventory will be wrong. Garbage in, garbage out. You understand? Right. The minimum is in reorder level less what? Open bracket. Here we use average usage times average lead time. For example, let's say the reorder level is 1,000, just less average. That may be, let's say, 70. If the lead time is maybe 22, just so what is in the bracket first, then less from the 1,000. You get it? Right. The maximum inventory level is reorder level plus. Plus what? For us to say our inventory has reached the maximum level, which means it's the reorder level plus the quantity that we have ordered. And that quantity is the reorder quantity. Is the reorder quantity. Another name for the reorder quantity, people they don't know that, is the EOQ. It's another name. Then you less what? This is the opposite. You are doing maximum, so we use the opposite here, the minimum usage times the minimum lead time. Then you substitute, then you get your answer. Right, so this is the maximum inventory level, reorder level, minimum inventory level. So this is primary school stuff. Guys, you don't want to waste time on this one. Total annual inventory costs, we have 3 types of costs. Number 1, we have the purchase cost. You want to buy stock, so we talk about the purchase price per unit multiplied by what? By the number of units. By the number of units, so multiply by the annual demand. You get your purchase costs. Number 2, we have the ordering costs. Right, ordering costs here, we'll say, what is the cost per order? If you place an order to the suppliers, what is the cost? If you want to know the total, common sense here, you multiply with the number of orders placed. But do you think the exam is that simple? Well, they will give you the number of orders placed. No, you won't be given the number of orders placed, but you just apply the pure common sense. What is the pure common sense here? The annual demand divided by the reorder quantity. That's how you get the number of order placed. Giving you an example, let's say the annual demand that we need in total per year, let's say we need 10,000 units. But how many units are you ordering from the supplier? Each time you place an order, how many units do you purchase? Maybe our reorder quantity, we say every time we place an order, the supplier gives us 2,000 every time. So if you are receiving 2,000 every time you place an order, so how many times are you going to order for you to reach the 10,000 here? 5 times. You get it. That's the formula. So that's how you get the number of orders placed. Then number 3 is the holding cost. Now, when you hold costs, when you hold the stock, you incur the holding cost. So the holding cost per unit, then you multiply with what? When you're holding stock, guys, you buy, you sell, buy, you sell. So that's why you use the average stock. You multiply with the average stock, or we say the average inventory. But the average inventory, again, it will not be given. How do you calculate the average stock? We say the reorder quantity over 2 plus the buffer stock. Another name for the buffer stock, we call it the safety inventory. So what you simply do, you calculate your average stock here, you multiply with the holding cost per unit, then you get your holding cost, you get your ordering, then you add all these 3 costs. But in the exam, they can simply ask you the ordering cost or the holding cost or even the total. So this is it, guys. That's the accounting for materials. Thank you very much for your time. Let's say bye-bye to accounting for materials.